right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to everybody. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you. In betweens, outside and else, isn't the society that is starting in a minute? Yes, it does. How are you, everybody? On TikTok as well. Doing my best to start before 9 every day. Hopefully, everybody are having a great day. I hope so too. What's up, Dr. Q? That's what I'm going to call you because that's a cool name. Shane, how are you? Matthew, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to everybody on TikTok. Support Muse is in the house. Haven't seen you in forever, I feel. Cindy Murphy. Okay. Owl's in the house. Give a couple more seconds for everybody to arrive. 25 people. Welcome to Simulation Talk 143. Ebony is in the house. Good to see you. Holy Wouldn't. Second live. Excited to have you here as well. Trying to say hello to everyone, and I think we can start. How was everybody's Christmas? How were the holidays? Did you spend it with the family? Did you spend it alone with friends? Ground 77, as far as lasers, you can just visit the website, go to reality.com, and everything is on this website, including what kind of lasers to use and all of that. Welcome to everybody on the live chats, cross platforms on TikTok. Amanda, so good to see you. Hair is already going crazy. Shelly, thank you for the likes. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so indeed, KLGD family time. So, lasers on the website. Welcome to Simulation Talk 143. If you're a newcomer, which at this point I feel like we have very few of them, but there's always somebody new, welcome. This channel usually revolves around the simulation hypothesis. My name is Danny, and I'm claiming to have found actual proof that we live in a simulation. And we've been here almost every single day to discuss the experiment, the implications, as well as science in general, religion, spirituality, philosophy, God, whatever comes to mind. It's been pretty busy last few days for me, always in a beautiful way. But sometimes it kind of gets, sometimes I need to breathe. And I got to remember that in the end of the day, it has to be enjoyable and it has to be smooth. I think it's just the old patterns of wanting things to be a certain way kind of show up, and then I get a little bit too on the case of things happening that day versus another day, and I got to learn how to let that go as well. But I'm very happy to be doing what I'm doing. Feel very grateful, as well as being able to engage with such a beautiful community that is growing around the project. I couldn't be more grateful. Amanda's in the house, Dubsy. All right. Welcome, everybody. If you're watching the live, doesn't matter where you're watching it from, if it's TikTok or YouTube or X or Twitch, makes no difference whatsoever. If you want to press like the live, it helps tremendously. Just got home from the gym, grabbing some leftover Christmas dinner. I mean, these are great. Yeah, I had to grab something quick on the go, so I just made a rye roast beef sandwich, which was incredible. Hey, baby girl. Timing's everything. I'm glad you caught the live as well, April. Trying to understand what the it's a butterfly. Couldn't understand what your thumbnail was. Sure, it's very hard to have millions of different people pulling on you a million different directions. It's not in the millions yet. I don't even know how people do that. But I guess at that point you have teams of people who are managing this information. But it's definitely a lot of people, more than I've anticipated, which again I'm deeply grateful for. But I guess the thing that gets to me is that I really want to engage with as many people as possible, because I know for the most part people really just want to engage and express themselves and explain, and I it's becoming increasingly difficult. But I am very, very grateful that I have such incredible family that is forming around this, and the people that are helping out. Ebony and Azamun and Lovey Whittle and Amanda on TikTok that is always there. I feel like my brain is maybe slowing down a little bit too much. How are you, brother? Might need to
really good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How was the last few days? How were the last few days?
Everything's going great.
Amazing.
Take out these headphones. So, doing the test right now.
Amazing. With time, he will be on the. Oh yeah. Ebony's asking, how do we get me on Joe Rogan? Well, I guess we aim well. Well, actually, while Casey is doing this, so to anybody who doesn't understand, Casey is usually doing these experiments live. He is using the spirit molecule. And to all the newcomers that are just joining, just you know that this channel usually revolves around the simulation hypothesis. My name is Danny. I'm claiming that I found proof that we live in a simulation, and that is by using a diffracted laser projected on a surface while one is on the spirit molecule. Recently, we've added another experiment, which is projecting the laser on a magnet. It seems to be scrambling the code, the only thing that seems to be doing that. And that is what Casey is doing right now. As one quick side note, if you are on TikTok and you want to see longer format videos of mine, go check out my YouTube channel, which is Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts. And if you want to know more about the project, you can go to codeofreality.com, codeofreality.com, and all the information that you need is there. We're also working on a documentary about the project, and all of that you can find in the link in the description and the link tree. And also, I've added a members program on YouTube, which I've had quite a few people already join, and also people were gifting, like Ebony, were gifting other people memberships, as well as Devin, or Ben, the way he's called here. And I'm deeply grateful for that, because it really helps me to focus on this project more full time. So if you want to check it out, the members program will include early access to a lot of the videos I'm releasing, as well as Zoom calls with me, both, well, depending on the tier, but with other members, as well as private, and weekly lives just for members only. So you have a lot more engagement with me directly, as well as fun things for my personal life that I will be posting. When is the next Zoom call? The group one is once a month. Should be also on the 18th. I'm not sure if it sends the invite automatically. I might check it, Lindsay. But again, if you are a member, you know that you can always email me with the words "new member" in the beginning, even if you're not a new member, and it goes into a special folder, and I automatically see that the new members are there, so I can always email you. Also, I am feeling like my brain is kind of going into like sleep mode. which is strange. So give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna make me strong coffee. I'll be right back with enormous power. Oh, Holly just joined as a member. Welcome, Holly. If you can just read the post also, Holly, about emailing me. There's a post for members only. Please email me with the word start new member so I can put you on my mailing list right away. It's automatically putting you in a special folder. Thank you to Quantum Trillionaire. Quantum Trillionaire is a great handle, by the way. The movie, we don't know yet. Like I said, it's a few months away. It depends on a lot of factors, mostly funding. What will be the umbrella under which we join forces? We'll find out. And how we get me on Rogan? Yeah, I do believe it's a matter of time, but hey, it's always good to put the intention. So I'm very, very happy that you're doing that, Ebony. Magnet scramble code. What would CERN do to code? I mean, I have no idea. I would love to run the experiment in CERN. Just don't forget that in CERN you're not actually seeing anything. It's more the machines collecting the data. So you're going to need some middle ground between what CERN is doing and something that is powerful enough, but not so powerful that you can't really stand around it. My dad's encountered the frogman, also called the jelly's fairy monster. That sounds amazing. Digital prescription. And again, Holly, welcome to being a member. I really appreciate all the new members and all the members in general because you're the ones that are making it much easier for me to focus on this more full time. And very soon, there's going to be a big reciprocation because I'm putting a lot of effort into building a whole new set of content that is much higher end, and I'm excited to share that. Okay, back to Casey. So before you jump on,
Can we make that coffee?
Yeah, I gotta go get that coffee. See you in a moment.
Dan is amazing. He's such a good guy. Incredible.
Yeah. Zena. She doesn't like to be alone. Okay. Salvation is here with coffee and chocolate. You should be good to go in a moment. Anything I missed?
Wait, not that I know.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to get back.
All right. Quantum Trillionaire became a member. Thank you, Quantum Trillionaire. I appreciate you. I'm reading your comments while I'm eating the chocolate. Okay, perfect. I feel like Popeye with the spinach. Aaron, the director of the film, joined the party. That always makes me happy. Today I had a lovely discussion with this girl. She's a researcher in Alabama, and she studies psychedelics. And she wanted to record a conversation for her podcast, and that was a fun one. Especially because she said, I don't exactly agree with you on everything. That's exactly what made the conversation very fun.
What was that?
Hmm.
What made it so fun?
The fact that she said that she doesn't agree with everything I say. I love these conversations.
Yeah, always, ever.
I'm trying to look for one common thread. What's up, Artica? Will Yukum is saying, Denny, I think you know my dad. You're talking about Brad? If so, yes, I do know your dad. That's amazing. You guys are, you told me you have 6 kids. Is that true? Do you have 5 siblings?
Oops, sorry.
That's crazy. Ebony just gifted 5 more people. Ebony, I don't know what to do to thank you, but again, I'll figure it out. That is crazy. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Wait, you found this channel completely unrelated to your dad? Nico, how are you, my brother? Because it goes randomly. Wow, that is amazing. What a great moment. Yeah, your dad is a super interesting guy. How do you know that I know him, by the way? Oh, and Casey, while you're not talking, if you can mute it because there's like a static. I think he's in the medium while he's There you go. I think you can unmute yourself, no problem. I'm just muting it because it's very staticky. Okay. I asked because I think I found a way to connect 2 people through an electromagnetic field that can be made with materials easy to purchase online. Experiments were made 13 years ago where they discovered this continuation, I'm assuming, meaning 2 people can be connected under the molecule. So, real question, Ian, what do you mean by connecting to the electromagnetic field? Because the electromagnetic field is light. So what do you mean by that? Tishana, yeah. How are you, Nico? Two people can't be disconnected without the molecule. Okay, so these are a little confusing to me. I don't know what you mean by that. Let me go back here and see what I've missed in the previous messages. And soon my brain will go back to fully being functional. Also, I love the lab, the chemistry lab goggles, Nico. Nice touch. Do we highlight it? It is a code appearing as a technical skeptic of most things like organic base feel it first. Or we go towards the most inclusion and we finish that fundamental pointing chain at language. Hold on, my brain is still waking up for this one. Ebony can type with two hands again. How was dinner? How is the water used with the laser? Great question. Ufology. You basically put a glass of water in between the laser and whatever surface you're projecting the laser on, and you can either look into the light that is passing through the glass and hitting the wall, or even into the glass where you're going to find these little uh, diffracted patterns of little points of light, and try and expand them with a similar gesture like you would in with the magic eye gesture. Excuse me, you should be able to see quite a bit of the code in there. Well, I'm trying, Artica. Long days, man. Long days. I'm doing my best to keep the energy as high as possible. Hopefully, the coffee will do the trick in a moment. Can't win them all, man. Sometimes it's these days are long. Daniel Morris is saying, "Hey Dan, not sure if you're saving this for the movie, but if you tried to use the console." I mean, I spoke quite a bit about the console, and as I keep saying, I am working on a second video about the console. So people keep asking me when is it going to come out. I don't know at this point, just because finalizing videos of this kind, it's very difficult right now. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to find a pocket. I just need to find a way to arrange time in a way that is more. Hopefully, will stabilize at some point soon. I believe it will. There's just so many new things, and then I have to arrange them into some kind of a coherent schedule, which isn't easy. But again, it's good problems to have, you know. Hey, then, not sure if you. Oh, okay, read that. 0 out of 5 attempts of. Wait, 0 out of 5. What does that mean? Oh, you mean you tried 5 times and it failed every time? So what I would love to do, ufology, is that please come to the next Zoom meeting for members. I'm sending invite to everybody. I believe it's going to be on the 18th, and let's talk about it in detail. Because usually when you're trying that many times and it still doesn't work, that means that there is something that you're probably doing that is not conducive to seeing it. So like it might be the distance from which you're looking, and for different people it can be different things. I would love to triangulate this with you. Another thing you can do in the meanwhile is send me a picture of the setup or even a video of the setup, like exactly where you're positioning it from the wall, where you're sitting. If you can just email it to me, that would be amazing. I can help you triangulate this. Oh, I love the love. Why a rough day, Daniel? Crush, you can shine the laser light into the water to look at the code that way, or its reflection through the glass. Exactly. Except, oh, and there's this for Daniel. I thought that the hug was for me as a Daniel, but I'm glad that there's hugs going all around. My seasoned astral projection master says that simulation is ending soon. It might be. This part of the simulation is ending soon, yes. I think the water is used to distract and widen the laser. To distract? I'm not sure what you mean by distract. Holographic? Oh, you probably mean diffract. Yes, that is correct. Find the molecule effect dissipate when I open my eyes. Oh, you're always doing eyes closed. I see. So you might want to start with. So I think we found the issue. I think you did you read the protocol on the website? If you haven't, please read the protocol again. It's very important that you read the protocol. codeofreality.com, read the protocol because there's a lot of details there about this. And you definitely want to start with your eyes open. You don't want to do the, I mean, you can launch one time, but the main, with the laser, the main functionality there is that you're trying to stay stable. So you want to get into the space deeply. And then after that, you get to, you know, actually experience the molecule more loosely. So you don't have to be worried about being sucked into hyperspace. So that's the only main reason to do the to do the eyes closed. But after that, you want to go sit in front of the wall and just sit with your eyes open, completely functional, and then you sit with the vape, and you vape. That's the idea. If you're only doing eyes closed, usually when you would open your eyes, yeah, very often the whole thing would kind of dissipate. Mr. Brighton, what do you mean by I was thinking about laser through crystals into objects? What do you mean by that? You mean projected on an object through a crystal? Um, yeah, I get the impulse to think, but I think that it's less along the lines of, I guess, what you would call magical thinking. Like, why a crystal? Why specifically about the physical structure of the crystal that you think? Because you think that there's some energy there. I think the energy along the lines of which it might exist in these crystals is not the way. It's not the channel through which we see the code in the laser. At least that's my impression so far. What's your go-to chocolate? Like that new brand, Tony. I've never had Tony's. I don't know what that is. Is this it? This is pretty good. I don't have a favorite. I can't have any kind of dairy whatsoever, and in most chocolates they still have traces of dairy, but this one doesn't. So anything that doesn't have any dairy, I think, is my favorite. You don't like dark chocolate? Well, unfortunately, that's the thing that activates some of the molecule. Any of the interview with Darius J. Wright? Sounds familiar. Hold on. Sounds very familiar. Oh yeah. I've heard him talk. Yeah. Why do you ask? Human chocolate. I like the shirt too. Robin Williams. Wait, is that his birthday or death day or? So matrix effect. Have you tried powerful green lasers? How about using fog or mist sound vibration? So this is part of MDK, part of frequently asked questions. The short answers to these that fog cannot work to actually see something coherent in the air because it's random scattering. Even though some people say that they do see code that way, I'm not so sure what I mean by that because, well, yeah, I'll leave it there because I'm it's something that I gotta dive into with a very, with a fine comb, and I have to like look at it experimentally. But as far as I understand, and I obviously tried just for the kick of it, but you can't really do it because it's random scattering. It will tell you what the beam is, but it's not going to tell you what the beam is. Not bouncing off anything coherent in the air to go back to your eye enough times for you to create an image. But and then as far as different frequency lasers, yes, they would present some added content, but it's not always. The code is always the same, but but what you see in addition to that is a little different sometimes. Like there's beings, there's arrows. You can't really drop a link because it doesn't allow this here, and it's not something that I control, Mr. Brighton. If you want, you can email it to me. lasersimulationx@gmail.com. Again, it's lasersimulationx@gmail.com. Or you can just visit the website on the screen right now, and my email is listed there. So I'm gonna, if I'm skipping over your question, know that this means that this question is asked a lot. I don't know. Did we add the frequently asked questions to the website already? I think we were supposed to. Let me see. I think we should have FAQ there. And FAQ to the website. I know it was on a Trello. I mean, Irv is already doing so much. I should probably do it myself. He's incredible. You mean that two people can connect on the molecule? Yeah. So I guess I'm asking how though. How through? You said that through the electromagnetic field. So, but how are you utilizing light to make that happen? It is a portal. Rock 2 confirmed. I love that. What I have always known in my heart, like an intuition. We are all about to receive consciousness upgrades, telepathy, empathy, powerful affirmations that work, etc., etc. Sounds wonderful. Sign me in. Don't know if you saw my comment, but the Area 52 podcast did the experiment. Oh yeah, I know. Somebody told me about it, but I don't know how they did it because, as far as I know, somebody was telling me before they were running it that they're going to do it, and that person was trying to connect me with them, and so oh yeah, David said that I don't have to keep him anonymous. So David Carter, he's a pretty known person in the crypto world. He's been in software development for a lot of his life. He's a big problem solver, and he a few years ago managed to. He never told me this originally before we spoke, but he basically got the laser. He saw the code. He then started showing other people, and he's been kind of helping me out, kind of being part of my think tank about these big, uh, you know, uh, thought processes around the subject. And he told me about that their Area 52 are about to do the experiment. I don't know what exactly they did there, but it doesn't sound like it. From what I know, that none of them saw it. So I don't know what they did there, but something tells me that if a lot of people tried it and nobody saw it, that is almost outside of the bounds of statistical chance. That means that they did something not exactly how they're supposed to be doing. I'm not sure why people insist on not reaching out to me. It's very simple. I can, so I would I would advise, if you want to do it, especially in a group, don't waste your time. Just reach out. I'll explain how to do it properly. And if not, there is a full protocol online how to do it exactly. People tend to think that the protocol is just a suggestion, and it is to a degree, but just like in Casey's case, he said he couldn't do it for months, and then eventually he just went to the website, looked again at the protocol, and said, "Oh, okay, I wasn't following the protocol." So follow the protocol. There's a lot of details there that are well thought through because we know what usually leads to easier success. That's about the Area 52. It's about all I can say because nobody reached out to me, and they, I don't know what the exact details of the experimentation were. Ian is saying, "My bad. Your bad. Your bad what?" Hey, brother.
I was just going to add to that I couldn't see it until I finally was, I have to get really close to it. So you got to be able to sit with your nose against the wall comfortably. And so back to those people that couldn't see it, I'm sure they didn't have the correct seating arrangement or something like that. I'm almost positive.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen them? They talked about it or whatever?
No, but if anybody, if people aren't seeing it, it's because, in my opinion, because they aren't comfortably sat where they can look at it close enough.
Yeah, so actually that's an interesting point because I've had a person recently, she tried for almost 2 hours and she couldn't see it. She was doing it really up close. And then she stepped away with like 2 feet. And then she looked back, she goes like, oh, here it is. So I think it depends on the person. So like some
Yeah,
people are actually having an easier time looking from far away.
yeah, and then yeah, it depends on your vision. But what was the other thing I was going to mention? Continue on. It'll come to me.
Also, somebody's asking about my last name. Goller is actually Jewish. I am Russian. I was born in Russia, and I'm not technically considered to be Jewish just because in Judaism it has to go by the mother. It cannot go by the. But only my grandfather was Jewish. But Goller is Jewish. Have you had a lot of experience with 5-MeO, and do you feel that experience had a roof cap? I didn't have a lot of experience with 5-MeO. I'm going to be diving a lot more into it. If you mean like a final level, all of these substances, I would say they have like an experience that will give you the feeling of a final level. I've had that with NN. The only thing with that is that if you do it enough, you'll realize that that's just one experience. So even that final levelness always has more. Like it truly is infinite. Have you had a lot of experience? Oh, okay. Let's see. Why am I so lethargic right now? It's crazy. It hit me like oh, maybe because of all these roast beef sandwiches. Kirsten, good to see you. Avocado organic cacao powder and honey make an amazing chocolate mousse. I love chocolate mousse. But then, can you give advice if you feel you are getting a cap? Oh, so you're talking about being locked out, Joshua? True. That's not the same as having a cap. Let's first define what you mean. Do you mean that you're being locked out, like you don't get every time you try, no matter how much you try, nothing happens, kind of thing? Or do you mean you get to a level where it just feels final? Which one do you mean? Hey Dan, vague question, but what have you gotten to know about the entities? So good question. It's actually not vague, it's just too broad. In general, I talked quite a bit about the beings. There's different kinds. The insectoids are the ones that seem to be controlling our layer, the technical layer of the environment. There's the blues that are more kind of custodians of knowledge. There's quite a bit. Maybe this I should. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, because this will give me a good excuse to engage more on the creative side. Because I've been so much with the managerial stuff, which is again, it's necessary, but I'm not. It's not my main cup of tea, and I do it, but can't wait to be able to afford somebody else to do it for me. I want to go back to just doing creating things. So let's see. So beings, the God experience, and we have the console already coming anyway. So great. These are the main. Well, the console is already on its way, but then I'll be working on a video about this God experience that I've had that people ask me about, and about the different beings. It seems people seem to be really interested in these. So I'll very soon, when I'll be able to step away from the whole managerial part of it, I'll start creating more videos. Is the Earth flat? No, I told you before. It's sausage shaped. We live on a giant sausage. I don't know if you guys knew this, but this has been proven now by multiple sources. And Trump is going to tell everyone that's the truth when he's going to be fully inaugurated. Expect big surprise. We live on a sausage. Just experiences didn't feel as intense or insightful. I've been doing it for 4 years. Exactly. Yes, so that would be the equivalent of being locked out, or a form of locked out. Usually, if I'm to be quite honest with you, right now, specifically right now, I don't think it's just you. Something is happening in that space. They're asking not to come in too often. Something is going on. There's like a big change happening, and also in that space, and it's not always the safest right now because there's a lot of things that are moving, and it's much harder to pay attention and guide different beings who are coming in. So I think that it actually has to do something with locked out is that when DMT decides that it's not the time for you to come in for a while. And it's not a coincidence. And it can either be personal, so it can tell you, okay, you need to hold off, you need to basically live your life for a little while, or for any other reason, it might be because you've been coming in too often and you're not utilizing the tools that you've learned, or it can be for a billion other reasons, but they sometimes literally locking you out for a while. Like you can't come in. No matter how you can smoke a whole cartridge, nothing's going to happen, or very little is going to happen, or it's not going to really be like that insightful, like you said. Kirsten, just so you know, as you guys know, if you're not familiar, the handle that is Sivan of the Star, Seven of the Stars. That is Kirsten, and she is one of the most experienced molecule practitioners and guides out there. She is up there with again, like there's not a lot of us in this world, but we are there in the thousands. She's one of these people, so she knows quite a bit about that, and she also works with people with the molecule. And she just said, I wasn't locked out, but it's been less intense for most of my clients. So it tracks. Sounds like it tracks. I'll be able to tell you more because I'm going to be embarking on a lot of these experiments very soon, and I'll be able to tell you what I'm actually seeing at the moment. The handle, she's right there, right above you. Seven of the Stars. That's the handle. So yeah, there's not a lot of people in the world that have been embarking with the molecule thousands of times. I feel like, are you up there, Casey? I would assume so because you're doing it now every day now.
Thousands.
Yeah, so there you go. But there's definitely not a lot of people like that in the world. There's maybe a few thousands in the world that are in the thousands, and it actually makes a difference. I think it creates a new kind of relationship to it, in which you feel it's kind of like activating a computer. Like you just kind of go into the space, and yeah, you can still have a lot of surprises, but you know the space so well that your brain you know it. Like it's a very tight relationship. And I would always recommend that if you want to get an advice from somebody, it should be from someone like that. Preferably somebody who's also working with the molecule. Something I found out the hard way, because I've been in the thousands, but then even though I was never aiming there, but because of everything that's going on, I had to facilitate a lot. I had to show people. And I realized after watching people like Kirsten work and other people that I'm not that great at it, because it requires a particular kind of attention and skill that I wasn't really developing. I could go really far. So it's almost like, you know, you go into some, I don't know, I always think of spelunking for some reason because it's like, crazy cave diving. And I could go really, really, really deep by myself, no problem. But taking other people there is a whole other story. So because of that, I all of a sudden discovered that it's actually not that easy to do. And since then, I put in a lot of work into learning how to do it well, and I do it a lot better. It's not a position that I feel that it's not my calling. Like I can do it now pretty well, but it's not a thing that I regularly do. But because of that, I would say that just to correct a little bit of my previous statement, which is that you want to seek somebody with a lot of experience, also somebody who's actively guiding other people, because there's a skill there that is being honed over time. Oh, Kirsten's coming on. 1 second. How are you, Kirsten?
Yeah, hey there. Yeah, so I was going to say, it's like, it's one of those things where you just do it so often and in so many different ways that it starts opening things up to you and it starts teaching you things. And the more and more you go in, the more it teaches you. And it's exactly like a relationship. I don't know if you remember what my old mentor said, but if you want to have a one-night stand with it, it'll definitely fuck you. But if you want a relationship with it, it'll wine you, dine you, take you out to dinner, and show you all the beauty of it. And it's totally like that, And it's I always say it's my boss. It literally is like my boss. DMT is my boss, and it's like, okay, if it tells me something, I have such a trust with it that I respect it, and that's it. And we have mutual respect for one another, because every time it's given me something to do, like you saw the experiment that I did with the blood, right? The live blood cells. It told me to do that beforehand, and it turned out exactly the way that it was supposed to. It told me to find somebody who did dark field microscopy, and that once they smoked spirit molecule, that it would take their blood, no matter how because when you get the older you get clumping, rouleau, things like that. But it would take the molecule would actually take it and turn it to perfectly healthy cells, and it was crazy. It did exactly that. And the guy who did it, he was like, he'd been doing microscopy 20 years. And he's like, there's no way that anything can do this. And I'm like, can you just humor me? So he came over to the house, and we had a control and had another client do it. And he was blown away. And he's this big bodybuilder dude that never does anything. And he's like, give me some of that, because he was like, that's crazy. So yeah, it's just developing a relationship with it. And it's kind of like going to New York in the middle of the night. You don't really want to do that unless you know where you're going.
Exactly. Yep. Thank you for sharing that. Also, Artica, how far? I mean, pretty far. Pretty far. And in or on the sausage, on the tips. We live on the tips. This is recently some of the newest satellite images that came back. There's going to be everybody are talking about the disclosure, so they're going to be talking about us living on a sausage. It's we live on the tips, on both tips, and yeah, they'll be showing images of this. This is very serious. Yeah, different tips, and they both occupy two different dimensions. Just the tip, exactly. Thoughts on the drone situation? No, I don't have any. The whole UAP thing, I don't know why it doesn't grab me. Even though I'm pretty sure it's something crazy, but we have limited attention. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy news. I'm telling you. Is the Earth a sausage because all the parallel Earths are next to one another? No, it's a bunch of sausages. It's just like it's a bunch of sausages. It's an array of sausages. It's all together. It's a multi sausage system. We emphasize the objective meaning, possible unification, inclusion. Can you provide an image of what you mean by the description of the shape of the world?
It's a sausage fest. That's just what came to my mind.
It's too late. Come on, Kirsten. It's too late. that was very slow. I gotta grab my.
I couldn't get it off mute in time, but I was laughing so hard myself.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I do experience strong food cravings after. Sometimes it depends. I also smoke mapacho tobacco sometimes, and I also have a craving for that just because it's grounding. Food's grounding. So that's probably why that's happening. Because if you look at it like you're blasting off into another dimension, sphere, whatever, something that grounds you back to Earth is helpful.
All right. I'm back. Have I tried to project the laser on myself? Yes. Any projection on the skin will show you the same thing. It basically looks like code. Thank you. My closet is the most organized. None of this is mine. I have maybe
So in other words, Kelsey organized it all.
no, it's all her stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I told you I basically threw away almost everything I had. So like what I've been traveling with, when you remember like the suitcase that I've had, that's pretty much everything I have. I don't have more things. I have Aaron recently. I don't know if he's still here, but recently he said we're gonna have a shoot, and I was supposed to show up for the studio to do like an interview shoot, and I came and he's like, "Where's the shoes options? I told you to bring a bunch of shoes." It was like, well, first of all, I didn't see you putting the text that I need a bunch of shoes. I brought a few items, but then I'm like, "But these are the only shoes I have." And then he looked at me. He just like stared at me. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, these are the boots is all I have." He's like, "You don't have any other shoes?" I'm like, "Well, I think I have like somewhere like dress shoes or whatever, like, but I don't."
You always wear those boots.
For Christmas I got a
it.
gift running shoes because I've been running a lot recently, so I got like shoes.
I
just
got running shoes for Christmas too. I got the clouds. They're
Everybody got.
awesome.
Oh my god, that's amazing. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I have maybe like when you. I don't know if you now people are gonna go back and check. Like I have, I don't know, maybe 5 shirts total. And like
No, they've been doing the pruning down thing too. Like they're like, you can keep the books, but everything else, like get it out.
oh yeah, I don't know. It was just like natural to me. Like I don't. It's such a pain
No,
in the ass to think
they
about what
told
you're gonna
me
wear.
they were like, it's time to like strip leg. And so
Let's go.
this week I'm going through, because I just got back from Texas for my parents. I don't know if you heard, my dad had hip surgery. He broke his hip on Christmas Eve.
Well, no, I
And,
have not heard.
yeah.
But sorry to hear that.
He's okay now. He's actually doing much better. They did a total hip replacement, but so that was Christmas Day, so that kind of sucked. But so I went down there for that. But it was funny, the message I got when I was out there, when I was like kind of going into the space trying to work on him and stuff, and the space I got was get rid of all of the junk, get rid of all the clutter, anything that you don't need.
I concur.
Like get rid of it. Yeah.
I mean, I threw away everything I owned a few years ago, like 6 years ago. I threw away everything.
Yeah, and you got rid of your back pain that way.
Yeah. So
I got rid of mine finally through Aya.
Aya. Oh, when did you do it?
Let's see. It's been 3 weeks now.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was. Thanks. Yeah, it was very intense. Like the physical, but on my body. And I think because I worked so much with the molecule, the visuals weren't as intense, which was a little bummer. But it was really beautiful because she came in and she was like, well, stick with your chonga. And she had me make some changes to it, which was cool. And then she would say, I want you to go buy the real plants. And I'm like, where am I going to find those? Literally next day, I get a phone call from a friend of mine. He's like, yeah, I found this guy in LA that sells the plants. I'm like, perfect. So so I changed up my chonga recipe, and it's amazing. So I've been working more with that because, like, as I said, a lot of my clients are having, like, they're not going in very deep anymore.
Yeah, it seems to be going around.
What is it, chonga?
So
chonga is basically
the way
that I
hold on. I'm not sure if that word is also code.
Oh,
so let's use
awesome.
So let's use what should we call it? Let's call it mix. Let's call it mix. Instead of that word, we'll just say mix. Yeah. So it's smokable. What we were just talking about, the part.
Wow.
Mine lasts about an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. It can, but usually it's about an hour. And I only do that in ceremony. So I like sing my own Icaros and stuff. And I just, move energy for people. And it's very beautiful. It's really intense. It's like a rocket ship versus a slow descent or slow ascent.
Wow. And, what did you see? Sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. So some people get stuck in the waiting room if they are, if they have fears or if they're too pushy about it. But if you're not, you immediately get launched into another dimension. And sometimes there's beings there. Sometimes there's ships. People have gone on ships. People have met family members that have passed.
No way! I need to do this.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful medicine.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Especially since I changed the formulation that the grandmother had me do. It really amplified it up and really made it really smooth and beautiful and just very magical for people.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sausage Gate 2025, Owl said.
What's that?
Said Sausage Gate 2020. Living on a sausage, I looked away for one moment and I missed something. See, you can't look away. So, I can't tell if the sausage is from Inside Joke. No, people just ask me if the Earth is flat, and I always say it's a sausage shape. That's all. Fake alien invasion in the last play of the clown show. I mean,
well, all right. Much love, y'all. Hope you guys have a safe life ahead of you.
Thank you so much, Thing Ghost. That was so
You
positive.
too.
We appreciate you.
Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Not fear sausage. Do not fear the sausage. Become the sausage. That was a good owl. Keep them coming.
Good comebacks, guys.
Team 2 says there's no sausage. Team 1 says there's only sausage. That's really funny. Is he going to get his sausage? Okay, now it's like, okay, I gotta read all those. Okay, I think that's all the sausage. So I didn't catch the name either, Christy. Who is this then? My first time smoking molecule, immediately got up and got Chinese food from down the street. Maybe it's because subconsciously you knew there's some kind of Asian letters, but you confused Japanese with Chinese. So you were racist even on the molecule. Come on now. It looks like you are reading other messages. I am reading also on TikTok, yes, at the same time. And who is the guest speaker? We have a couple of speakers. We have Casey and we have Kirsten. Kirsten is a practitioner that guides people and she heals people. You can find her on TikTok. The handle
actually, I don't heal people; they heal themselves. I'm just the orchestrator.
Right.
You're always healing yourself.
Good distinction.
So I don't take credit for that. I'm just the orchestrator of the energy.
Thank you for that correction. But you can find her handle on TikTok. It's 7 of the stars. 7 spelled SEVYN. SEVYN of the stars. That's the handle. If you guys want to look her up, feel free to do so. Yeah, all of them I need. Okay, let's get through these. Am I still being contacted with the frog being? No, he appeared only once. There you go. Got some followers. Nice. Where are people calling it in from? People calling in from like a radio show. Actually, now that you think of it, like these live, sometimes they kind of like the old radio shows. You know what I mean? Like people just call in the middle of the night. Ben said, "Finding my inner sausage." He threw one more to the mix. I knew it was a K name. Oh yeah, okay. Also great to see you, Ben. We had a lovely chat yesterday. Okay, what was I talking about before we jumped into all of this? I forgot. Sausages, exactly. Well, I started saying that I had this conversation with this really lovely girl. She's a researcher from Alabama, and we had a really nice chat. I don't even know what her channel is, but it will be cool when she releases it because it was a nice conversation, I think.
Is she like a scientist or is she like us?
She's a scientist, yeah.
Okay. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. We have to start somewhere. We have to. If we don't, then there's no team 1. The teams just popped in. Hello. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much, Mary. Appreciate you. My laser comes in the mail tomorrow. Well, exciting, Holly. Let me know how it goes.
I wanted to tell you I'm going to Utah to do a retreat the 3rd through the 7th. So I'm going to bring the laser. And these are all newbies. So I'm not going to say they know nothing about it. So it'll be totally blind. So this will be interesting and I'll videotape it.
You should get these magnets, the regular horseshoe magnets. Horseshoe magnets.
Okay. I'll order one because I have a neodyamide that's you can't see it, but it's like a cube. But
yeah, they're just too. They might be too powerful. I mean, you can try and use it, but yeah, like I said, like everything that Casey was doing. I mean, Just put a
Like
paper.
with a paper? Okay.
Yeah. I want to see if that works as close to the paper as possible and see if people can try not to influence them at all. And if you have the possibility to film any of this, I mean, this is
No,
the
yeah.
more data, the
That's
better.
what I asked. I asked everybody if they were okay with being filmed, and one girl was like, would you blur out my face? And I was like, well, I cannot film you if you want, but everybody else was cool with it. I was like, I'm not gonna get like whatever, but so I was like, I'll just not film you or cut you out of it.
The instigator on YouTube saying, I'm assuming it's a he, is also in Utah. Today,
oh, really? Yeah, we're gonna be up in it's Camas, Interlaken.
Interlaken,
So,
Camas.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're saying random words.
Yeah, no, Interlaken is like a very beautiful like area up in Camas, which is outside of Park City.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, Utah is lovely.
Yeah, that was the first place I actually did the spirit molecule for the first time. So I'm really excited, like, because it's like going back to the very first time I did it, you know?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's exciting. Tell me how it went.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's almost the new year, man. It's gonna be crazy. This year is gonna be crazy.
Do you feel the energy like something's coming?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been telling you this for a long time. The 2025 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something enormous. is
But
coming.
it's getting more intense.
Oh yeah, it's very intense.
And I've started to, so like if somebody starts lying to me, I start to feel this like uncomfortableness in my chest, and like until they tell the truth. It's really bizarre. And it's like I can't, and then I can like see like a vortex energy coming out when somebody's starting to lie too. So weird stuff's happening.
Yeah, well, we're getting more and more sensitive to each other's energies for sure. A lot more things feel like they're imposing.
Yeah.
Really gonna like Texas Trev, how are you, brother? Yeah, it feels like we definitely need to keep things very clean,
very positive, and
very
very
positive, yeah.
Stay away from the conspiracy stuff and just focus on positivity. That's what they've been telling me too.
Stuff is getting weird out here. Share, Owl, are you still in Vegas? Great moment is coming. It does indeed. Crab.
So Josh is asking, I think what I'm asking is if they experience entities' voices on low. Do you know
On
what she
low?
means
What does
by
that
that?
mean?
Or what he means by that?
Maybe on low dose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, microdose works for, you don't necessarily hear the voices, but you get the feelings and you see the images. I mean, it's different for everybody, but of course, but as a general rule, yeah, you don't have to take a super large.
Yeah, just like everybody just reminded us for this about this wonderful Terrence quote. Things are going to get weirder and weirder until they are so weird that we will have to talk about them.
Yep, Terrence McKenna. I love that quote.
I've heard them in the mind, and they come through lights. Yes, they are. They are coming through lights. Hold hands, everybody, and strap on. Well,
and it was funny during my IA experience, when I was going through this, why did I do this? Why did I do this? This is stupid. Like, oh God, I'm so uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden it broke through, and everybody was like holding arms and like just loving each other. And it was like, this is why we do this. But it was such a beautiful moment. I was just like overcome with like, I mean, I can't even explain, I can't even do it justice, but it was like the whole world was kind of in arms, like just like pure love. Yeah, I was like, this is why we do this. And
it's really,
like, wow,
it's really that's what it feels like. That the preparation is basically to be able to have that moment in the right state of being.
Yeah,
you know, because it's not that easy. If there's so much trauma in you, then it's very difficult to have a pure moment of love. It's very difficult.
Yeah, you have to get through the trauma first. You have to work through all that stuff, and then we can get to the fun stuff and all the beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you want to be able to be included in the energy that is washing over everything that is love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it sounds super hippie, but it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you draw me a picture for Christmas? Huh? Oh, you're talking about our article. I was like, what? SpongeBob feels right. Yep. In 2025, take the red pill, stay in Wonderland, and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. dude, it's one of my favorite speeches of all time. Take the blue pill. Stay in, you stay in what is it? You wake up in the morning and you believe whatever you want to believe. What a great speech. Another fun one is when he's finally deciding to take the pill, and he sits and then puts his hand through the mirror, and then he goes like, "What does that mean?" And Cypher goes, "It means Dorothy, buckle up, because Kansas is going bye bye. Buckle up, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye bye."
Have any of you guys been hearing music playing like from your childhood in like the vents or anything like that?
Not from
Or,
childhood, but I've heard it a lot in like really blissful music from the Statics. Yes, that's how they
Okay.
communicate. Yeah, a lot of the sounds are coming in that way.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting because I've been hearing it randomly and I'm like, what? Nothing. There's no music playing, but we can all hear it. And it's like weird stuff. And the other day I was like, another one bites the dust and another one goes. And I'm like, well, what's that mean? Okay. But then usually it's happy stuff. That was kind of funny.
You heard another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Are you hearing the music coming from certain locations, like from the toilet or from the sink or anything like that?
So it attaches itself sometimes to the air conditioner vent, sometimes to like I have an air purifier and I'll hear it through there. Or sometimes it'll be like the TV's on, but there's no like it's not on a station, it's like just in the black part, but it's not off. And it'll come through there. Sometimes it'll come through the AC. It's really strange.
Without the molecule?
Yes, without the molecule. Mm-hmm.
Oh, without the molecule. No,
that's used. It could be if you're hearing it from these different objects, a sign of poltergeist activity, that kind of thing.
Well, see, from my understanding, poltergeist is really just energy, and that's usually happening in like teenagers, and my daughter's not old enough yet. So I think what it is, because I've been doing the molecule for so long, I don't really need to, like, I can tap into it right now if I want to, if I focus and start to bring it back. So I think it's something like that, like it's already peeling away the veil of illusion. But yeah, I've also heard it with the molecule, and it's like, where the hell is that coming from?
Yeah, in my experience, like when it's coming from like for example, a toilet or some sort of even TV. Yeah, it's depending on the vocabulary you want to use. It's energy bleed through. Yeah,
I definitely feel that, but it's all from my childhood, like from like in the 80s and like stuff. And it's like, wow, okay, this is interesting. So it feels like it wants me to take a trip down memory lane or something.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, they do that, and sorry, they always pull it from the past. Like in my experience, it'll be like 1950s type of music. I don't listen to 1950s music, but it's as if they're pulling from Internet Archive or something like that. So it's available to them. I don't know. It's very strange.
So just a quick thing, because I want to involve some of the YouTube channel in this. First of all, Ebony said that she just watched The Matrix yesterday. I'm assuming not for the first time. You mean for Christmas? That's a great Christmas movie. They should have made it a Christmas movie. And then Mary is saying, I'm not sure if I'm located near a portal, but I see and feel disturbance, kind of like the Predator. My vision gets distorted and something walks by. But then she said, it's not scary at all. Basically, I smile in that direction and nod. So when you say the Predator, you just mean it's kind of translucent like that? Or also the vibe of the Predator? What do you mean by that?
Does it look reptilian-esque?
Another question, yeah. Let's see if what she says. Apartment complex, maybe another room in the complex is playing radio. No, it's not like that. I've literally on the molecule. I've heard guitars playing themselves, and not like with the frog guy.
I have as well.
Yeah. You literally hear them like go.
Yep. Yeah. I have to.
That sounds unnerving. I love Keanu, but who doesn't? That's true. Gonna be forcing you to take stances today, or there will be ignorance. Interesting. It's not scary at all, basically.
For some people, it is scary, but yeah, you do it enough and it just becomes like, oh, okay, cool. But the first time it happens, I'll tell you, it makes you go, huh, what's going on here?
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of beings, but I guess, are you saying, Mary, are you saying that without the molecule, you just see it naturally kind of happens to you? Some people hear radio from dental metal sleep bell. No, these music, like I know they communicate through static, so it's actually easy.
Yes, yes. It's like, you remember the old TVs when they used to turn off and you would get the black and white?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why in the
I used to-
bathroom, the fan in the
Yeah,
bathroom is kind of similar to that.
Yeah. But when we had to go to the hospital and my dad was in the ICU, Seven did not want to walk down the halls because she was seeing spirits everywhere, like everywhere.
Huh.
And I could see the outlines, right? But I couldn't see what she was seeing. Like she was describing them to T. There's a little girl, there's a man with an old hat backwards. And I was like, how are you seeing that? She was just like, I don't know. So, and she's not a medium, right? Like she doesn't get any communication from them, but she's just all of a sudden, and this is a new thing, like she's able to just see them.
Yeah. So by the way, everybody, are you guys listening to the telepathy tapes? I've been listening a little bit more.
Oh, they're
today.
amazing, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to find the discerning moment for me. But yeah, I'm getting more and more convinced that something is going on there. Just don't know why they keep. I don't know. It just feels like they're referring to it as magic almost.
So we had a girl who lives in our apartment complex, and she was chasing a bird, and she fell. And her mom was trying to like wrap her up and stuff. And she goes, I'm not a happy alien. And Seven and I looked at each other like, what? Because she's autistic and she's so sweet. And Seven always plays with her. But that was like Seven was so excited. She's like, oh my God, is she an alien too? You know, like that kind of way. And then she mentioned something. She's like, I'm going to go to my hill. And you heard how them talk about the hill, the places that they go to congregate, where they meet together. And it's like this place that's not in this dimension.
Yeah.
And they call it the hill. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying about the telepathy tapes is that what I'm missing is that more conversation about asking questions around how they think it works.
The method, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No,
yeah,
like there has to be a medium, but nobody's really talking about. At least so far, I haven't heard them talk about it. I don't know if
I haven't either. And there's been some speculation of why because the mom doesn't want the dividers up and things like that. And so there is a little bit of that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of. That's what I was saying the other day. That it feels a little bit like. There's a little like, again, I know that she's originally framing it in the same way, which by the way to me was also a little bit of a immediate turn off. Like in the beginning when she started saying, imagine what it would feel like if everybody don't believe you. I'm like, why are we starting there? Why okay, why don't you just, first of all, why don't you just first let us see or hear the results? How about we start there? Because like, then it's an easier sell. Just let us hear immediately like what convinced you, and then to do the storytelling after. It's always curious
when somebody has something to prove too. They're like, oh no, I'm going to prove that this is exactly what this is.
Yeah, and then there's no actual question asked about the most obvious things you would want to ask, because again, it's not magic, right? There's no, like, even if it's, and if it is, and I actually believe that is the case, it is some ability, right? So we want to understand how it works, because it's not magic, it's just something we don't understand, which is amazing, and we get to discover it. But it keeps being couched in this like magical thinking almost, and she just keeps repeating, but I'm a scientist. But I'm like, okay, but where's the scientist in you right now? Like, what is where are these questions?
She lost her degree.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Or lost her license, sorry, for a little while. I don't know if she's getting it back, but
no, but I mean, like, just the mental state. Yes. Now, who am I to judge, right? But on the other hand, who am I not to say something if I feel like, why, if you are the one investigating this, why is this not of the level of rigor that it needs to have? Like, it's I don't know, because I'm totally open to it. It's just the way that it's presented is actually the opposite of what I would expect to hear if you would want to be talking to I don't know, like, it's when you start the conversation there, which is, how would you feel if nobody believed you? It's like, are you trying to play on my emotions right now? Like, what is the thing here? You know, like what is the thing?
They're called the telepathy tapes, Crystal. And basically the premise is they're autistic kids and they're saying they can read minds. And I mean, I fully believe in this, but it's just a little bit strange the way the lady's presenting it, because they asked her to sit behind like a cubicle so that her son couldn't see her. So there's no way she could slip him the information, right? And she wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one, right? Aren't there like? Isn't she present? I'm not very far in.
There's
so.
a few. There's a few. Yeah, but yeah.
So again, I think it's because I myself am in a position that I am saying something wild. I know what it's like to say these things, and I guess the first thing to do, to me, it's at least clear, is that you just have to be honest about like where you're coming from, and actually being understanding of the skeptics, because that's the natural position to have. If I would start my conversation with, I was trying to talk about this for years and nobody would listen, you know, like I would never want to listen to me. It's like, okay, like why are you surprised that people don't believe you? It's a big claim, right? So this lack of empathy towards the people who would naturally be skeptical, that to me is weird. And it sounds more like playing the victim card. You know, like, oh, look at these special needs kids. Why don't you believe them? That's what I'm feeling when I'm hearing it.
And I think there's something to it. I definitely feel like there's something to it, but I feel like there's also something not being told right exactly.
Yeah.
Or being hidden.
In the spirit of truly understanding these wild things that we know, again, I'm saying I'm talking to aliens. I mean, it doesn't get crazier than that, right? So in the spirit of trying to understand real things, why not have an understanding towards the common person who does not have these kind of experiences, and have the full understanding that they are under no obligation to just accept what you're saying. And if the claim is so big, then just because some people guessed something, like the truth is that what they're claiming is that the kids are, what is it, 95 to 100% accurate, right, with like guessing certain things. But she just, so far what I've heard, I haven't heard that much in yet. I've heard almost the full first episode, I think, but it's just, she keeps saying it, but is she demonstrating it in full, like in full? Is that what happens in later tapes? Do you know?
I haven't gotten past the middle of the second episode, so I haven't seen it demonstrated at all like that. And
so you know what they should do? They should go to the James Randi Foundation. They should use that.
Yeah.
There's $1 million on the table if you can prove it under laboratory conditions.
No. James Randi Foundations, they're POSs these days. They don't evaluate on fairly, and they're just a scam these days.
They are?
Yeah, anywhere else, but I'd say.
Okay, well, yeah, why? There's a lot of other entities that are well-meaning, right? Well, I guess, isn't the Monroe Institute investigating this at this point?
What's that?
Isn't the Monroe
Institute? I'm not sure if the Monroe Institute's investigating. Not, they're investigating a lot of other interesting things, but I haven't seen that specifically.
I know that Tom Campbell's organization is doing something with kids that can see. Yes. They can see blind, which again, there's a lot of things there that I'm also seeing that are kind of a little skewed. Again, this is the crazy part, that I'm so for it. Like, I'm so for it. I want all of this to be true, and I want it to be proved to be true. But it's just not the way to do it. It's just so flimsy. And these are relatively easy claims to test. So I don't know why. It kind of confuses me, truly. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, here, Crystal's trying to come on.
Yeah, I didn't understand the whole she wouldn't get back behind the partition thing, because if they really can see it, why not?
I have to listen to the rest of it. It's really coming. Hey, Crystal. Oh, she jumped off. And Australia is trying to come on.
Oh God, no, I'm not going live. Oh God, no, he accepted my request. I'm not going live. I'm totally not going live. I'm not going live. Oh my God. No.
Well, you're live.
I'm
So
not
now either you can jump off, either no problem, but you're here, so you can
Oh my
say
God.
hi.
Oh my God. Am I live?
You are live, yeah.
I am? Oh gosh, hi. How are you?
This is great.
Why did you do that to me? You put me live. At least you can't see my face.
There you go. All right. Well, you want me to mute you?
No.
Oh,
How are
so
you?
I'm doing good.
You look good.
Thank you. I can't see your face, so I can't reciprocate.
Oh, thank you. Well, it looks like my profile.
Got it. So did you want to talk about something in particular, or?
Well, I was just hopping on. I saw you come across my FYP, and you're such an interesting person all the way around. And I showed a few people your American Ninja Warrior episode. That's so impressive.
That was a different lifetime, but yeah, it was
Different
fun.
lifetime. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, how's your discovery stuff coming along? The simulation.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's like you have a lot of new fans.
There's a lot of things going on for sure. The community is growing, and we have a lot.
Growing.
Yeah, he's been featured on a bunch of different podcasts, big podcasts, and big people are talking about him. So really happy for him because he deserves it.
Heck yeah. Right. Well, thank you for accepting my request. I didn't know I accepted to come on here. That's
Sure.
awesome.
Well, I'm glad you came on.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to listen to you guys. And
Sure. Cool. Thank you for joining. So I'm gonna mute you in the meanwhile because there's a static.
It's okay. Well, you have a wonderful evening, everybody, and
thank you.
Yeah.
You
Many
too.
blessings to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Okay, so hold on. I definitely have to go through some of these YouTube comments because there's quite a bit of them, and I know that Ebony had something to say. They do talk about it a bit. Yeah, the truth is that I have to listen to the whole thing to give my full opinion about it, of course. But it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just immediately apparent to me that when somebody's going about something in a particular way, immediately there's something about it that's like, I don't know, man. That sounds like a lot of virtue signaling mixed with trying to make people feel guilty. I don't like it. And that it's almost like you create a situation where you cannot criticize it because you're going to criticize the children, the needy children. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Why are we starting there? It's weird.
I mean, there's definitely something to it, Danny, because I have a friend who's 7.
Oh no,
works with her
I'm
son,
all
who's
I'm all on
practices-
board. That's why
But I
I
don't-
find myself
I
in
don't
such
know
a
if
weird
it's the
position.
level of-
I don't
yeah.
like the way she's doing it, but I know there's
agree.
something there. So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of torn a little bit. But again, it might be a thing of style. What about those kids that can read books without reading them, but just touching the cover? I believe it is Caroline Corey who has info about that.
Yeah, my daughter can do this with Uno cards, and a couple of other kids that we've worked with can fully read too. It's crazy.
I mean, that does sound crazy. It's relatively easy to test. Did you ever post a video about this?
Yeah, with her doing the Uno cards, yeah, she can get the color and the number almost like 100% of the time. She can't get words though. She can't. We tried. That one's pretty tough for her, but she can do the Uno cards pretty easily.
Huh. What's up, Superhero Tony, and good night. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate you.
That's my wife.
Well, I'm glad to meet your wife. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married a long time now, babe, since 2012.
Oh wow! Since the beginning of the new calendar.
Yep, we kind of picked it on that.
Nice. Okay, so Ebony is saying, I've listened to all 10 episodes, and they do discuss theories around how these things are possible, as well as demonstrating of the children doing it in real time. They also talk about simulation theory. Cool. So, yeah, like I said, I have to finish listening to it, and then I'll voice my actual opinion about it. My brightness saying cured me as well. Oh, air, I did a heroic dose of cubensis. 5G dried for cluster headaches. I had communication with them. It was very natural, sorry, like Paul Stamets and Terence McKenna has stated. Cured me as well. That's incredible. Thank you for sharing this. I mean, code is absolute, yes, but also there's the other facet which is not seen because it is missingness in the current state. Team 1, love. Team 2, nothing. I used to get previews and premonitions of basic life stuff, then correlation, deja vu, like if my life was holotape with dents or impressions from future, Carson said. Interesting. Do you want to say something?
Hey, Danny, have you had anybody try it with Amanita muscaria?
No.
Okay.
No. Why? Do you have some?
Yes, I bought some at this expo, and they're pretty. I wouldn't do a heroic dose of them because they work on the GABA receptors, so it's very different, and you feel like you're on a loop.
Yeah, I've heard it's closer to. I haven't tried, so I can't speak about it myself. But I did hear that it's a little closer to kind of going a little cuckoo versus.
Yeah, I would concur. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was just curious if anybody tried the laser. I was too out of it to even think of it.
Yeah, it feels like one thing that is calling me recently, and I've put the intention out, and I think somebody finally reached out. Is the cactus, because I've interacted with it very little, and then I realized, considering the amount of experience I've had in these spaces, it's kind of weird that I don't have more experience with.
You mean Wachuma?
Not necessarily in that form, but just I don't want to say the actual thing because it's usually that's flagged. Yeah. But anything is derived from it. Just the grandfather as it is, right? Everything from
absolutely. Yeah. What was really cool is after I had my yaya ceremony, I found a gentleman who sold plants, and so now I'm growing my own of those.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So you can develop a relationship with them, and then I imagine it's going to be very beautiful once I use them.
Interesting. And also, Estrella is saying, my son is raised his whole life. He's 44. He's severely autistic and nonverbal with word. And would you say that you think he might have some telepathic powers? Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. Scott River saying, love, hate, hot, cold, left, right, matrix only recognizes ones and zeros. Actually, I think that the ultimate simulation is basically the oneness, the all. Handicap. Point is directly now. Communicating, tempering into electromagnetic field of the
I have a theory that the spirit molecule can actually help with autism.
Say it again.
I actually have a theory that the spirit molecule can actually help rewire the brain with autism for people with autism.
Oh, interesting. Have you tried?
I have. I can't speak about it, but because it's obviously in the beginning phases, and it's I can't speak about it, but the beginning stages are very promising so far.
Okay. Well, we'd love to hear more. Van Dweller, how you doing, brother? I'm new. Kia ora ara people. Okay. I know I'm supposed to be. I know this, but apparently I don't. Then build the device and try to connect two people. Okay, hold on. So I think you made another comment before, Ian, which was he describes about how people can communicate by tempering into the electromagnetic field of the Earth. So, do you mean the magnetic field of the Earth? I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just trying to understand because the electromagnetic field is light. It's what light is. So you probably mean the magnetic field. Some approach can be used to maybe get two people in the molecule realm. Yeah, magnetism is definitely a big part of it. We need you on Rogan. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Program emotions in the matrix system.
Totally. It would have been better than Strassman. Like he didn't even know how to explain like the laser thing. And I'm
No,
like,
I think there was more going on there. I think he paused for bathroom to tell Joe that he doesn't want to talk about it. So
I gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I think that's what happened there. Has anyone experienced imagery similar to Google Deep Dream or images decoded from fMRI scans? No, but Kirsten here, she basically also ran the experiment with the AI. I think it was with ChatGPT. Wow, my brain. And she put it through a psychedelic experience, right?
Yep. And I can actually post a video of what it came up with.
Oh, that'd be
if
great.
you guys want.
Yeah, that'd be great. You should.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys just want to go to 7 of the Stars, after we get off, I'll put it all, compile it, and you guys can see.
YouTube or TikTok?
What's that?
YouTube or TikTok? Where?
TikTok. I'll probably put it on both actually.
Yeah. So 7 of the Stars, 7 spelled SEVYN. 7 of the Stars. That's the
And
handle.
just make sure there's a lot of copycats. Make sure it's the one that has 300,000 followers because there's literally so many people pretending. It's annoying.
Copycat. What are they feeding you? Copycat. It's not your fault. I know. Oh, can't say that. Oh, okay. Good, Owl. Connect me. Even though I had somebody reaching out, but I'm always open for more suggestions for somebody who's really, really experienced with it. I don't think that recently I've read all the Carlos Castañeda's books, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it walked into my life right now. I think it's telling me I gotta partake. Santa Clarita. Oh, beautiful. That sounds wonderful. I love that place. Threatened being as it is used too much. If you kept on making things, just seem to know how it went. Indeed. I love the themes, Daniel. He's playing both the themes. Check the links I have shared, Dan. Okay. You email them to me? Because if you share them here, they will not appear. They will just disappear. Oh, look at that. If you share them here, they will not appear. They will just disappear. So, email them to me. lasersimulationx@gmail.com, Ian. Have you experienced this phenomena of seeing? Depending what you mean by that.
Yeah, you can see a lot of things.
Have you experienced this phenomena of seeing code? Oh, there you go. Under the influence of the molecule at the same time as someone else who also can see the code. Yes. And we had 15 people in the same room seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirsten was there.
Same at a retreat, yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody was seeing it.
Yep. I brewed SP. We'll just call it SP. The cactus. Many times. I'd love to help with that. Oh, amazing. Yes, please. I would love to hear about that. Hands yellow heart, red hit. Then hands yellow heart, red like button. My dyslexia is crazy. Hands yellow heart, red. Smelly cat indeed. The Schumann resonance, it's at the same frequency as human brain waves, and the upper atmosphere, like extremely low frequency waves, where different lightning effects occur. Like yes, so it's the average. The Schumann resonance is the average magnetic field that exists inside of all of the atmosphere. So I'm not so sure that it matches brain waves because brain waves vary; they change all the time. But it sounds like a fun meme that people make. Any indication alcoholics can see code? I mean, alcoholics can see a lot of things, especially during Thanksgiving and family dinners. They're professionals.
Actually, I was talking to a gentleman who had like intense DTs, and when he was going through it, he had an experience with like alien beings, and they like took him through and unshackled him, and like it was a very like almost like abduction like experience. But normally you don't hear about stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's true that alcohol can be utilized for many of these things. It's just that it's a much more difficult spirit to work with. Because
yes, and also I think it's because when you when you're having the DTs, it's so profound that like your body's producing more DMT. So I think that's kind of what's going on. It hasn't been proven yet, but it's a theory.
You mean, wait, say the last part again?
So what I was reading is that when people are experiencing the intense delirium tremors, they're actually producing more DMT naturally to like, I guess, cope with the or I don't know if it's because they're on the brink of death, but that's what they think. That's a theory. That's what's causing it.
Oh, interesting. Just so you know that word is also flags, a chance. DEATH, which is weird. I've discovered it recently. That and SUIC, that word. It's weird.
Gotcha.
It's weird. Sometimes you get.
I'm learning.
No, that's kind of hard to notice. I sometimes say it, and I was like, oh, right, okay. Arctic is saying spirit, and then in Russian that said spirit, which is how we say what is it called? Well, basically, it's kind of like moonshine. Kundalini? No, I'm Danny. What's your name? DTs only occur when I stop drinking.
Yeah, that's exactly. But then they're going through withdrawals, and during those, for some people, it's 10 days long. It's very intense. And
the withdrawals.
Yes, the withdrawals and the DTs where you're shaking, but they're like I've been reading a lot of transcripts about it, and a lot of them can hear music, like they hear their birds, and they hear the same thing, like where all of a sudden your air conditioning is singing songs, like, but they're songs that it does it, but then you can also change it, and a lot of people are seeing ETs lately. During the DTs.
There's definitely going to be a big uptick in that. And also to your question, wait, who jumped up? To your question, Kurt. Okay, so amongst yourselves and others that have witnessed this phenomena, have you managed to devise a way of testing and comparing information in a repeatable fashion? Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole project is based on, the fact that everybody seems to be reporting the exact same thing.
Yeah, and we did a retreat with how many people were there, Danny? And pretty much everybody saw except for one.
16 people total.
Yeah. Just takes a little bit of time.
Sometimes, and not even for everybody. But
yeah, sometimes people see it right away.
Yeah, but also, Kurt, again, sorry, I probably pronounced it Kurt. When you see it for yourself, you realize that you don't need anyone else to tell you. You just know. It's super clear. Watch the reaction, Kurt, of Chase Hughes on my channel on YouTube. Watch that reaction. Chase Hughes reacting to the laser. It's one of the last videos. Watch it. It will speak volumes. Video,
especially when he starts quoting from that movie Contact. That was
because he looks just like him. Like, dude, you look just like her
dad.
And he's a scientist, and watch his reaction. It will tell you a lot. I mean, a functioning alcoholic, I think, not abduction experience or in physical experience. Right, but you might want to add to that physical might not be even the primary thing. DTs only occur when you stop drinking. Spirit molecule, by our nature, the only maxing love in team one, we would be failing to compute that without accepting some parts of that roughness, we would be turning into team 2. Wow, you're running a whole game there. I enjoy this. That's not my question, though. Oh, also, I saw that ufology, you said not helpful. What are you talking about specifically? Because it's hoping to get more symbols. Will someone record like the wall or something? Will I find more info on the site? Yes, definitely. On the site, you have more information. And we will also be putting all the frequently asked questions, the answers to those questions on the site. And if you join our Discord, you will see some people sharing their experiences, including Ebony, who drew incredibly detailed symbols from her experience. But it is interesting. After you do the green one and the blue one, Ebony, we're going to compare notes because there's a few things there that I feel that are a little different in the way that you drew it, and it will be interesting because it's small departures. So I'm wondering if it's a matter of perception or a matter of it might be presenting itself a little bit differently to some people because your representation seems to be very accurate because other people said that they saw very similar things. Like Cal said that they saw the exact same symbol with the circles and the half a circle. And but to me, a lot of these characters look closer to kind of like Hebrew mixed with katakana, like very specific. And some people report that more.
Where do I get the green one?
What do you mean?
The green laser? Because are you talking about the green laser?
Oh yeah. Because Ebony drew such an accurate representation of it. Irv is going to be sending her a green one and a blue one. We want to see if she can represent something. I want to see if there's a difference in the way that she's experiencing that, so she can put it on and share it online.
Where can I order a green one from you?
These would be custom made, but sure, I will ask Irv if he can just order an extra one. If not, they're just on Amazon. But I'll ask him to see if he didn't order yet. Then I'll ask him to order another one.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty sure also alcoholism wouldn't affect the ability to see the code. It won't, but alcohol in general affects your interaction with the molecule. That definitely happens. From how are you, Tammy? Welcome. Where am I from? I'm from LA. Where are you from? Well, I guess you said, but where are you from specifically? I know North Carolina, but where? What's up, Shy? What? We are in LA. I can only find the clip. Cheers. Team 1 or Team 2? Green laser proves the ability of the code of moving in the sense of refresh. Oh, interesting. Google thoughts. Appreciate you for these lasers. Oh, no, I appreciate you with everything you're doing, Ebony. Thank you so much. Where can I find your drawing, Ebony? On Discord, Van Dweller. If you haven't joined, you should. The link is on the YouTube channel, like on the description. Maybe we need half Japanese, half Jewish person. They're none of those things. They look like, so I had Japanese, somebody who speaks Japanese tell me it's not Japanese, and I speak Hebrew, and it is not exactly Hebrew, even though there's some letters that kind of look like Aleph, but it's not exactly that.
There's a bit of Aramaic in there too, but it's very few and far between.
I don't know how you would discern between Aramaic. Like, I feel like I would never be able to tell the difference between Aramaic and Hebrew because it's moving so fast. But maybe maybe you see it more coherently. That's also possible.
Well, I just asked ChatGPT, like, what is Aramaic? Like, show me the symbols, and then looked into it, and there was a few.
Yeah, well, it is the basis for both Arabic and Hebrew. So it's kind of like where these languages came from. So, of course, it would resemble. But,
but I saw, like, actual ones. I mean, I don't know if they're the same in Hebrew because I don't know enough about it. Yeah, but...
It's selected because it is obvious that in Team 1... Okay. All right. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to have to jump off. It's getting up there, and I have to get some rest before tomorrow. Long day tomorrow. I want to thank everybody. Kirsten, thank you. Estrella. Oh, Casey jumped off. Appreciate you, brother.
It's great seeing you guys.
Thank you so much. Artika, Amanda, Daniel, Ebony, Ben. Who else here from our regulars? Well, actually a lot of people. Owl, good to see you. Ufology, all the members really. Ariane. Thank you guys for being a part of this incredible and growing community. I appreciate you all. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, I have the longer videos. If you happen to be on X or Twitch or TikTok, jump on YouTube. It's Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts. And I've added a members program that allows you to both Zoom with me and get earlier access to my content and private things from my life that will not exist anywhere else on social media. And I'm working on quite a bit more perks for members because I deeply appreciate the fact that people invest in this project. It allows me to focus on this more full time, and I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. So, all that being said, I see you all tomorrow. Peace and love. Ciao. See you guys. See you all tomorrow.